I'm just going to talk a bit about my Revision Plus course. This is a focused program that kicks off 5 and a bit weeks before the exam. And it's designed for students who've already been through a period of tuition. So maybe they've studied elsewhere or self-studied, and they now need to shift gears into that exam technique, practice and performance approach. Maybe they've sat the exam before and been unsuccessful. Just to note, I do have another course called Nearly There for those who've scored 40% or more. Maybe that would be a better option. Do check out that separate video. Really important to realise Revision Plus is not a replacement for tuition. While I do weave tuition points and learning into the debriefs and into the course, the main emphasis here is on application, how to approach exam questions, how to structure answers, and how to score marks efficiently. If you need full tuition, then please check out my Platinum courses, because one of those is likely to be a better fit. So why does Revision Plus work? The ACCA themselves stress practice answering exam questions as much as possible. And they're right, I agree. But it isn't simply churning through questions, there's more to it. The real learning happens in the debrief. We all learn by our mistakes, we know this. So what the debriefs do is help you find where those mistakes are, find why you made those mistakes, and learn from that. And that's why every question you tackle on my revision course is supported by my step-by-step video debriefs. Let's take a look at what I mean by that. In section A, there are over 240 questions fully debriefed by video, not only showing you the right answers and the right way to do calculations, but the thought process behind that. We also look at the distractors and why they're wrong. I give you shortcuts, I give you quick tricks on how to get to the end result as quickly as possible, as efficiently as possible, and as accurately as possible. In section B, we have 19 full case studies. That's 95 questions. Once again, broken down, identifying common traps and some less common traps and efficient approaches. And in section C, we have videos where I debrief 21 constructive response questions. I focus on interpretation of the question itself, spreadsheet technique, give you reusable templates, tell you and show you how to write narrative answers that actually earn marks. And although I've said how many of each I've done, I'm always adding more content. So in that section A, section B and section C, the numbers I've given you there will likely increase over time because as tricky questions come up or get produced by the examining team, I tend to record and include them in my course because I know students benefit from understanding how they could have navigated through a question that's a bit trickier. Let's look at how the course is structured. So what I do is I take the syllabus and I split it into 16 sessions and we divide that across the first 4 weeks. And what you'll be doing is you'll be doing practice questions under each of those sessions, backed up by those video debriefs, by model answers, key takeaways, various tips on approach and common pitfalls. We have a focus on constructed response. So one of the most powerful parts of the course is the section C practice. So in weeks 1 to 3, you'll submit 2 fully constructed response questions to me. So that's 6 in total. And for each submission, I'll mark your script in detail. You'll receive personalized feedback on how to pick up more marks. Often these are subtle changes to what you're doing. But I go further than that. And this thing that I'm about to tell you, the feedback from my students is this is one of the most valuable things on the course. What I do is I take all of those videos, those individual feedback videos, and I share them with all of the other students. I do it anonymously, so don't worry, no one knows who's written what response. And what students really benefit from is they see how others are approaching the same question. They can pick up, oh, I could have done it that way, that would have been a better way. They can also see where mistakes have been made by others and my feedback on those mistakes. That's really important because then they start to understand why the examiner gets frustrated, because they see the same mistakes time and time again. So by seeing everyone else's attempts at those 6 section C questions, everyone really benefits. So towards the end of the revision course, we have a revision mock. The section A, the section B, objective test questions, they're marked automatically, but as you'd expect from me by now, I have a full video debrief of every single one of those questions for you to look at afterwards. The section C, the 2 section C questions you submit to me, I mark them, and just like I said with the homework, I give you individual feedback, but I share it anonymously with everyone. So once again, you're all benefiting from each other's work and each other's effort. So once we've finished the mock, we've got just over a week left before the exam, and there's plenty of additional resources, other mocks you can practice, other resources you can access. You can loop back to areas you were struggling, recap those. So there's plenty to do in that last 7 to 10 days before the final exam, where you can pick up even more marks, better approach, further improving your technique. There's additional support, so I provide confidence clinics. There are 4 confidence clinics, 1 each week, and before each one, students submit to me areas where they're struggling or specific questions that they're stuck on, and I walk them through how to do those or create new content to explain how to address those sorts of challenges that they're having. Everyone gets to see the confidence clinics. Once again, I don't share details of who submitted things. It's really about everyone can learn from everyone else's struggles and everyone else's challenges. There's ongoing support and resources. We have a WhatsApp group where you can ask questions in the group, or you can direct message me and I'll reply to that. What I sometimes do, particularly again on ones where it's better to explain by video, is I record a short explainer video, share that with the group anonymously. They won't know who asked the question, but once again, everyone is benefiting where everyone else is struggling. I'm a big fan of drip feeding knowledge. The science behind this is really strong about keeping neural connections active and strengthening those connections so that when you need them on the exam day, they're there ready to go. So via the WhatsApp group, I have Monday check-ins. I deliver a technique Tuesday tip every Tuesday, another tip, another approach that can help you in your approach to answering questions. But also we get some examiners tips every week. So the examiners mention things in courses and conferences that we tutors attend. I take those tips and I feed them back in via the WhatsApp group so you can see what the examiner's thinking and what the examiner's looking for, keeping you sharp, keeping you focused. I also include my optional masterclasses. These are deep dives into notoriously tricky areas, areas often where students get stuck are variances, learning curves, things like this. What I do with those masterclasses, I deconstruct them right down to their basic elements, then rebuild them back step by step so you get a full understanding of the entire process, following up with worked examples so that you can see how to apply those techniques in the exam. And finally, perhaps for a bit of fun, I offer my Beat the Tutor challenge. I got 97% in my exam, and so I've set the challenge that if any of my students can beat my score, I will give them all of their money back and 50% more. So whatever you paid for the course, you get that back and a 50% bonus if you can get 98, 99, or that elusive 100% in your exam. So in short, the Revision Plus course is about turning your knowledge and turn it into marks in the most efficient way possible. We'll sharpen your technique, we'll give you stronger exam habits and confidence to perform your best on exam day. It won't only help you in this exam, because the things I teach are applicable across all of the ACCA exams. These techniques, these approach to exam questions are going to help you right through your ACCA journey and any future professional exams you might choose to take. Thanks for listening.